Hey everyone, welcome to Let's Talk Sex, the place where we break the taboos and talk openly about all things sex. Your questions, your curiosity, and everything in between. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Imagine being in a relationship where you care deeply about someone. You trust them, you're attracted to them. But every time the topic of sex comes up, your chest tightens just a little. Not because you don't want intimacy, but because you're unsure how to say what you're comfortable with and what you're not. You worry about hurting their feelings. You worry about sounding inexperienced, demanding, or too much. You worry they'll take it personally. So instead, you stay quiet. You go along with things you're unsure about, or you pull away without explaining why. And slowly, something that should feel safe and connecting starts to feel confusing or heavy. This is far more common than people admit. Talking about sexual boundaries and limits isn't something most of us were taught how to do. We're expected to just know. We're expected to read signals perfectly, be confident, be open, be spontaneous, and somehow never make things awkward. Movies make it look effortless. Social media makes it look fearless. But real life is different. Real people have histories, fears, trauma, insecurities, changing desires, cultural beliefs, and emotional needs that don't disappear just because intimacy begins. Sexual boundaries are not walls meant to push someone away. They are guidelines that show someone how to love you safely. They are not a rejection of your partner. They are an invitation to deeper trust. Before you can tell your partner your boundaries, you need to understand something important. You are allowed to have them. You don't need a good enough reason. You don't need to justify them with logic that sounds acceptable to someone else. Discomfort is enough. Uncertainty is enough. A simple "I'm not ready" is enough. Many people think boundaries mean rules that never change. In reality, boundaries are living things. What feels okay today might not feel okay tomorrow. What felt impossible years ago might feel natural now. That doesn't make you inconsistent. It makes you human. A healthy sexual relationship is not built on guessing. It's built on communication. And communication doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts with emotional safety. If you want to talk to your partner about your sexual limits, timing matters. Bringing it up in the middle of intimacy, when emotions are high and vulnerability is raw, can make the conversation harder. It's not impossible, but it requires care. Often, the best time is when you're both calm, clothed, and not distracted. A walk, a quiet evening, a moment where you feel connected, but not pressured. You don't need to make it dramatic. You don't need a long speech. You can start simply. You might say something like, "There's something important about intimacy that I want to share with you, because I care about us." That one sentence does a lot of work. It tells your partner this conversation comes from connection, not criticism. Then you can speak from your own experience instead of making assumptions about theirs. Instead of saying, "You always push me," you can say, "Sometimes I feel overwhelmed when things move quickly, and I need to talk about my pace." Using I language keeps the conversation grounded in honesty rather than blame. It's also okay to admit that this is hard for you. Vulnerability builds bridges. You could say, "This is a little uncomfortable for me to talk about, but I trust you, and that's why I want to be honest." When you name your discomfort, you give your partner context. You help them understand that any hesitation is about the topic, not about them. One of the biggest fears people have is that setting boundaries will kill desire. In reality, Unclear boundaries are what damage intimacy. When you don't feel safe saying no, your yes loses its power. When you feel pressured, even subtly, your body remembers. Clear boundaries actually create freedom. They allow both people to relax, knowing where the lines are. They turn intimacy into something chosen, not endured. It's also important to remember that boundaries are not just about what you don't want. They can include what you do want. Talking about limits doesn't mean focusing only on fear or restriction. It can sound like, I really enjoy closeness and touch, but I need to go slowly with certain things. Or, I'm open to exploring, but only when we've talked about it first. This reframes the conversation as collaborative rather than prohibitive. If your boundaries come from past experiences, including trauma, you get to decide how much you share. You are not obligated to disclose details to make your limits valid. You can simply say, some of my boundaries are shaped by past experiences, and I need you to trust me on that. A respectful partner will. It's also okay if you're still figuring things out. You don't need a finalized list of do's and don'ts. You can say, I'm learning what feels right for me, and I may need to check in with myself as we go. This sets the expectation that communication is ongoing, not one conversation that solves everything forever. Pay attention to how your partner responds, not just to their words, but to their tone and behavior afterward. A supportive partner may ask questions, not to challenge you, but to understand you better. They may say, thank you for telling me, or I want you to feel safe with me. That's a good sign. If your partner becomes defensive, dismissive, or tries to negotiate your boundaries, that's information. Boundaries are not starting points for debate. They are statements of need. You might hear responses like, but we're in a relationship, or most couples do this, or if you loved me, you would want to. These statements shift responsibility for someone else's desire onto you, and that's not healthy. Love does not require self-betrayal. You are allowed to repeat your boundary calmly if needed. You don't have to escalate. You don't have to over-explain. Consistency is powerful. For example, I've shared what I'm comfortable with right now, and that hasn't changed. If a partner respects you, they will adjust. If they care about intimacy, they will care about consent. It's also important to talk about boundaries around frequency, emotional connection, and aftercare, not just specific acts. Some people need reassurance after sex. Some need space. Some need words. Some need silence. None of these needs are wrong. You might say, after intimacy, I need a little closeness to feel grounded. Or, sometimes I need time alone afterward, and that helps me reset. These conversations prevent misunderstandings and resentment. Remember that you are not responsible for managing your partner's disappointment. It's okay if they feel surprised or need time to process. Their feelings are valid, but they are theirs to handle. Your job is to be honest. Their job is to respect it. As you practice these conversations, they become easier. Not because the topic stops being vulnerable, but because you start trusting yourself. You start realizing that the right people don't punish honesty. They value it. Sex is not just about bodies. It's about communication, trust, power, and care. When you speak your boundaries, you are not making intimacy smaller. You are making it safer, deeper, and more real. And this is only the beginning of the conversation. As time goes on, you may find that setting boundaries is not a one-time conversation, but an ongoing dialogue. Relationships evolve. People grow. What felt right in the beginning might feel different months or years later. That doesn't mean something is wrong. It means you're paying attention to yourself. One of the most important things to understand is that consent is not a permanent agreement. Saying yes once does not mean saying yes forever. Being comfortable before does not obligate you to be comfortable again. You are allowed to change your mind at any point, even in the middle of intimacy, even after initiating, even if your partner is excited, even if you feel guilty about it. Stopping does not make you confusing. It makes you honest. When you communicate this to your partner, clarity matters more than perfection. You don't need the right words. You just need truthful ones. Something as simple as, "I need to stop," or "I'm not comfortable continuing," is enough. A caring partner will hear that and respond with concern, not frustration. If your partner asks why, remember that explanations are optional. You can share if you want to, but you are not required to justify your boundaries in order for them to be respected. Sometimes the most empowering sentence you can say is, "I don't feel ready, and I need you to respect that." In healthy relationships, boundaries are met with curiosity, not control. A supportive partner may ask, "Is there something I can do differently?" Or, "How can I help you feel safer?" These questions show that they see intimacy as something shared, not taken. But not every response will be perfect. Some partners may feel insecure, rejected, or confused at first. That doesn't automatically make them bad people. What matters is what they do with those feelings. Do they reflect, listen, and adjust? Or do they pressure, minimize, or guilt you? Pressure doesn't always look aggressive. Sometimes it sounds gentle. "Are you sure? Just for a little bit. You might like it." These statements may seem harmless, but they can slowly wear down your sense of choice. True consent doesn't need convincing. If you notice yourself agreeing just to avoid conflict or discomfort, that's a sign to pause and check in with yourself. Your body often knows before your mind does. Tightness, numbness, dissociation, or a sinking feeling are all messages worth listening to. If a boundary is crossed, intentionally or not, it's important to address it. Silence can turn pain into resentment. You might say, "When that happened, I felt uncomfortable, and I need us to talk about it." This isn't about punishment. It's about repair. A partner who values you will want to repair the rupture. They will listen, apologize without defensiveness, and make changes. If instead they dismiss your feelings or tell you you're overreacting, that's not a misunderstanding. That's a warning sign. Respect is not measured by words alone. It's measured by behavior over time. It's also worth acknowledging that cultural, religious, or family beliefs can influence how we view sex and boundaries. You may have internal conflicts you're still unpacking. You might want intimacy and fear it at the same time. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you layered. Give yourself permission to move at your own pace. There is no universal timeline you're supposed to follow. No milestone that makes you more worthy or more mature. The only thing that matters is that your choices align with your values and well-being. Talking about sexual boundaries can actually deepen emotional intimacy. When you feel safe being honest about your limits, you're more likely to be open about your desires too. Safety creates space for pleasure. Trust creates freedom. You deserve a partner who doesn't just tolerate your boundaries, but appreciates them. Someone who understands that your comfort is not an obstacle, but a foundation. Someone who knows that intimacy without consent is empty, and intimacy with care is powerful. And if you ever find yourself in a relationship where your boundaries are consistently ignored, challenged, or mocked, it's okay to ask yourself hard questions. Love should not require you to abandon yourself. Desire should not come at the cost of your peace. Your body is yours. Your comfort matters. Your voice deserves to be heard. Learning to say what you need sexually is not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming self-respecting. It's about trusting that the right people will stay and the wrong ones will reveal themselves. When you speak your boundaries clearly and calmly, you send a message not just to your partner, but to yourself. You are telling yourself that your feelings matter, that your needs are valid, that intimacy should feel mutual, not forced. And when two people meet each other with honesty, patience, and respect, intimacy stops being something you navigate alone. It becomes something you build together, slowly, intentionally, and safely, one conversation at a time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had as much fun learning as I did talking about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected. Share your thoughts or questions down below, and let's keep the conversation going. Catch you in the next video. Let's talk sex.